I grew up in Boston. It was a tough neighborhood, though. Yeah, it was really hard. Uh, but I did have one bright spot in my neighborhood. I had a garden, and that was between two three-deckers in Boston. And I loved that garden because it was my way of getting away for a little while from the tough neighborhood. Um, Yeah, and one day though, I told my father, I said I want to become a farmer, and my father said to me, Charlie, you never make any money at that. So I did remember that, and I didn't become a farmer. In my college years, I did also had a hard time with a church that I attended for 6 years. It was a 5,000 member church, and it was that was hard too. I can say that they did teach me the Bible, which was good. I'm really happy that they did that. But otherwise, it was difficult. And that that the gardening thing that I loved, but being in a tough neighborhood, and also being part of that 5,000 member church, it didn't make for a very good marriage for me, but otherwise, though, I did end up with two wonderful children and two wonderful grandchildren from that. In my work years, I traveled a lot for work. By the way, I work now in Boston for engineers. I work with engineers. I do low voltage design for hospitals for them. But yeah, I traveled a lot for work. I traveled to Minneapolis and worked in New York City, worked in Calgary in Western Canada, worked in Abu Dhabi in the Middle East, and from there I went to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And I think that experience for a couple of years in the Middle East, it really gave me a heart for Muslims. And that combined with my farming desire, I think that has gotten myself and our micro community which, by the way, it's called Reunion, our micro community, very interested in helping immigrants and refugees in this area. So we're even looking into helping refugee farm workers, because there's a lot of farms that are west of Waltham, in the towns west of here. And also we've connected with a nonprofit to look into helping immigrants with English as a second language. So we're looking forward to that. One of the things that really caused that to happen is we have a member of our micro community who one time, about a year ago, he mentioned a tribe in Nigeria that was displaced. And that's one thing that really got us interested in this whole thing too. Well, in my travels, as I mentioned, I've been part of a lot of different churches when I traveled for work in those different cities. And I realized even in the micro communities that are here in this area, in the churches, the larger churches that are in this area, that people have begun to focus a lot on administration of the churches because they're connected with a larger body of churches, and they get involved with all the administrative details. Plus, and this is not a bad thing, churches also get involved with people on the other side of the world, trying to help them with poverty and so forth. And that's a great thing. That's a wonderful thing. But I have found that churches in general seem to have, or at least the ones I've been part of, seem to have gotten away from the great value of connecting with their members and connecting with the neighborhood around them. And knowing how to care for that neighborhood. So microchurch is the place, I think, where in the future and now we will bring that back. We'll bring back that caring for the neighborhood and caring for each other, for sure. I have found that the guidance that Renaissance provides is great, and the good thing is that now that these micro-communities we have and the ones that will come here with us, join us in the future under Renaissance, they'll have the experience of the micro-communities that have been experiencing this all along, and we can help each other. We will be able to love ourselves and our micro community and the neighborhood, our neighborhoods, much better when we're connected as a group. We recently had a microchurch symposium about a week ago, actually, and we all participated, and it was great. There was one leader who said, he used the words removal of oppression, healing, and also bringing the kingdom of God. And I think that's by loving each other as a group of micro communities and loving our neighborhoods, that's how those three things are going to be brought, to people here in Waltham and beyond. Yeah, I would say go for it. I think it's a wonderful thing. I think you're going to find that a real desire to care for each other. Now, people aren't perfect, right? Obviously, I've experienced that. Even in microchurches, we're all learning. It's a learning experience and how to care for each other and how to care for the community. We will have differences, but we can work them out and we can agree to disagree. And we will. It's just going to be a great learning experience, and it will help people to know how to bring people to the kingdom of God.